So these are going to be the 3 top ways to increase your testosterone quickly. And I'm talking about within 60 to 90 days, getting you boosted back up. What is up, guys? My name is Dr. James Stirrett. I'm a naturopathic doctor. I own a functional medicine clinic where I specialize in helping people optimize their hormones. This includes men with low testosterone. Most guys I see these days actually do have low testosterone. So let's jump right into this. People will ask me, like, how did I get here? How did I get my testosterone so low? And it's like, it's really one scoop of the shovel at a time. You don't realize that you're digging yourself into a hole until you're standing in it like, how the heck do I get out of here? And it really comes down to lifestyle, what we're being exposed to, what we're putting in our bodies, and what kind of stress that we're under. These are just all things that impact our testosterone. And it really is an epidemic in our country. I'm seeing guys younger and younger and younger. It used to be like 30 and above, because we all know that testosterone goes down 1 to 3% per year after 30. That's very well documented. But how come then I'm seeing guys like 23, 24, 25, 26, all struggling with testosterone? All of them have low testosterone. Well, what we're seeing in the research is that more and more guys are having low testosterone at lower ages. And our sperm counts have been dropping over the last 20 years drastically. So these fundamental 3 things I'm going to share with you are really, really relevant to you today. I want to share my story and how I know these 3 things work personally. Not only have I seen this work in patients, but I've actually seen this work in myself. So I want to share a little bit of my story. But first, I do want to remind you guys, although I am a doctor, I am not your doctor. And anything that I say here is strictly just informational. I am not treating anyone. I am not recommending that you do these things. I am just sharing my knowledge with you. So first of all, how do you know if you have low testosterone? 1, you got to get your levels checked. You just got to, if you suspect you have low testosterone, just go to your doctor, get your levels checked, get set up with a game plan, attack it head on. That's what I say. But how would you know that you're struggling with low T? I'll tell you. If you're like really fatigued all day long, or you wake up in the morning, you feel like you're exhausted. If you're fatigued all day long, maybe it's low T. If you feel like you're not recovering as well, having trouble putting on muscle, feeling just like either emotional or down, depressed, stuck in a rut, really just not feeling well, low libido, not getting a morning erections anymore. If you were getting morning erections, then all of a sudden you're not getting morning erections anymore. These can all be indicators that you have lower testosterone and that, something is causing this. It's not just, it's like, it's genetic. It's not. There's factors in your life that are likely causing low testosterone to be there in the first place. I know I had low testosterone because of what I was experiencing. Those things right there. It was because of stress on my body. And it was actually psychological stress at the time. And I want to share with you guys how stress increases cortisol. It shuts down. What it does is it actually, when you're stressed out, you get this flood of cortisol, right? And it's a stress hormone, like running from the hungry bear. All forms of stress on the body do this, whether it's dietary, bad sleep, stressful relationship, a traumatic event, this type of stuff. What it does is it increases blood sugar into the circulation, and this insulin response is what basically is going to shut down hormonal production, namely testosterone. So we know that cortisol shuts down testosterone. So let me fill you guys in on the backstory of what was going on in my life, how I figured out I had low testosterone. So towards the end of last year, my wife was about 7 months pregnant, and we were carrying along. Everything was fine. I was working a lot. My wife ended up being sick for like 2 months straight and just kept getting flus and colds and all this stuff going on. And it's like, man, we're trying all the things, all the naturopathic remedies, trying to help her get better. But what ended up happening was she ended up going and giving birth almost 2 months early to our son, Asher. And it was a really traumatic birth where I didn't personally know if either one of them were going to make it. And at the time, I didn't even know she was going into birth. Everything just happened so fast. One morning, we just woke up, got out of bed. Next thing you know, she's having contractions a minute and a half apart on the ground. We're in an ambulance. Baby was born immediately. And then we wound up in the NICU, the neonatal ICU. And we were there for a month. And it was just like crazy. I had all my patients booked. And so I ended up seeing all my clients through that time. And it was just a very, very stressful event and a very stressful month for me, where I wasn't getting a lot of sleep because we were going into the hospital to make sure that our son was okay for feedings. And we had moved out of our house to be near to the hospital. And we're eating hospital food. We're not getting much sleep. We're basically going, burning the candle at both ends. It's very stressful. There's always that possibility like, okay, is my son going to make it? How long are we going to be here? There's just a lot of scary stuff. And spoiler alert, my son's just fine. He's 3 months old now. He's perfectly healthy, beautiful baby boy. But at the time, it was very stressful on myself and my family. I'm sharing this because you think about cortisol and the effect that it has on the body. I was very, very, very stressed. And I know many of you out there can relate to this type of stuff. We all have things happen in our life that does this. And as a dude, one of the first things that gets impacted in a stressful event and during a stressful time is your testosterone levels will take a huge dive. Your ability to recover will take a huge dive as a result of having low T. And you're not going to feel very good. You'll feel exhausted, like you can't get out of bed in the morning. You'll feel like just brain foggy, not great overall, no libido, in a rut, just not going good, right? So I found myself in this place, and as soon as my son got out of the hospital, we got back home, I was like, all right, this is what I'm helping people with all day long. It's time for me to do something for myself. So I put together this 3-step game plan to get myself back on track, get my testosterone back up, and really get feeling energized and motivated and just hungry again. Because, I mean, when you got low testosterone, it's like there's just no drive to do anything. You're like, oh my gosh, it's pulling teeth physically. I want you guys to feel this because I've been there. I feel this. And so many of my guy patients, so many of my dudes, they literally feel, this is how they come to me and they're feeling this way. And I'm telling you guys right now, I can feel for that because I've lived it. I am going to launch into this game plan, this 3-step plan that I think can be really applicable for so many guys out there. So many people need help with this in our country. We got a lot of dudes struggling with low T, and it's not cool. So the first thing that I did was I actually made the commitment to myself to work out at least 4 days a week, 4 or 5 days a week. And let me tell you something. Initially, this freaking sucks. Because, one, you're tired. You wake up in the morning originally, and you don't have enough energy to get through the whole day. Now you got to wake up earlier to work out. That just sounds terrible, doesn't it? Yeah, it does. But you got to just start doing it. You got to have discipline to actually execute. And you got to have to be able to basically set that alarm, set it away from the nightstand. So you got to get up and get it and set your clothes out the day before and get going. Now, when I say exercise, I mean weight train. I don't mean HIIT. I don't mean cardio. I don't mean biking. I don't mean Peloton. I mean, you got to lift heavy weights to start to stimulate these androgen receptors, in your chest, in your legs, in your back, in your shoulders. These are where your androgen receptors are, and you got to start stimulating these puppies to make you have more testosterone again. So working out is literally a massive, massive thing, and you can't do this without physical activity. Otherwise, your estrogen is just going to go through the roof, your testosterone is going to go down, you're going to continue feeling like crap, and you just need to know that you're not going to be able to do this without exercise. What do I recommend for my patients? Minimum 3 days a week. I would shoot for 4 to 5. So I wake up early, I get downstairs, I work out 30 to 45 minutes in my garage. You should see what I've got going on down there. It's not elaborate, guys. I've got Bowflex weights. They go from like 5 to 55 pounds or something like that. I've got a bench. I've got one kettlebell that's 35 pounds and a punching bag. And that's it. My regimen is I punch that punching bag for about 15 to 20 minutes. And I just beat the crap out of that thing. I get warmed up. It gets me pumped up. I listen to my music. Then I head on over to my weights. And I'm going to do a push day, a pull day, and a leg day. That's 3. And I've really been I've been separating out my chest days from my shoulder days and really focusing on those. Because there's just so many androgen receptors in your chest and so many androgen receptors in your shoulders that you have to hit those things. And I really am trying to build my shoulders out. So that is something that I'm doing to try to really amplify things. Now, I can tell you right now what I've been doing has been working because I've actually gained 6 pounds of muscle here, actually 7 pounds of muscle here in the last couple of months, which is pretty good. If you don't know what you're doing, if you feel like you don't know how to work out on your own, if you don't know what the exercises are, if you don't know where to start, well, there's an online university out there. It's called YouTube. You could hop on there and pretty much teach yourself how to do anything. You could start there, but I really do recommend go to the gym, make the commitment, get your gym membership, hire a personal trainer, do it for a month or two until you get the swing of things, then go out on your own. But it's nice to have, if you're feeling like you're going to be short on discipline, have someone else be disciplined for you. Fork out the money and have them hold you accountable. Number 2, the second thing that I did is I made a commitment to myself that I was going to take a couple different supplements. Now, if you're a patient of mine, you might be like, Dr. Stirrett, you have me on a ton of different supplements. I usually put people on like 5 or 6 things. But I was like, no, I'm going to pick 2 supplements that I know are heavy hitting that are going to get the job done. So the first thing was I had to deal with this fatigue. So I'm going to show you these 2 supplements. I got one in person with me, and then I'm going to show you a picture of the other one. All right. This one is by standard process. It's called Adrenal Desiccated. This one has been working for me pretty well. It is actually real desiccated, meaning chopped up, freeze-dried adrenal hormone from an adrenal gland of an animal. I believe it's beef. And what it does is it actually is introducing adrenal hormone into me to give me some energy and some drive to get through my morning and get through my afternoon. Because what I believe is going on is that along with being short on testosterone, I think that all the excess cortisol output during those months while we were in the hospital set me up for failure and that my adrenal glands were underperforming. So this is going to be a supplement that is a short-term supplement. You don't want to be on this forever because you don't want to ramp up your cortisol continually. You want your adrenal glands to come back into alignment, start producing their own adrenal hormone again. In order to do that, some other things need to happen. The dosage I was taking the adrenal desiccated hormone at was 3 in the morning, 2 in the afternoon. Just for anybody who is curious, remember, I am a doctor. I'm not your doctor. This is just what I did for myself. The second supplement is actually another desiccated hormone product, and it is called the Whole Package by Heart and Soil Supplements. I love this product. I've been taking it for a while, and I had stopped taking it while I was at the hospital. And as soon as I got out, I got myself a bottle of this stuff. It is incredible. I take about 6 caps of this stuff a day, and I can tell a huge difference on days that I take it. Now, you might be like, whole package, what is this? It is desiccated testicle from a bull cow. And you might be thinking, this is disgusting. Why are you taking testicle supplements? So what nutrients do you actually need to produce testosterone? And you could take these individually, right? You need zinc, you need selenium, you need iron, you need B vitamins. These are the ones that really are really helpful for production of testosterone in dudes and in women. So it turns out that cow testicles have all of these things and more in abundance. When we take these, the body naturally knows what to do with it. It will naturally stoke your testosterone levels. I've noticed personally that when I've taken it in the past, it really stoked up my libido, really stoked up my energy, and I just knew that it was something that I was going to need to take to get back on track, right? Because remember, I'm in this place where I'm feeling stuck in a rut. I'm tired, brain fog, dragging through the day, just feeling like there's no drive, not doing well. So this is something that I added in, and I started feeling a difference relatively quickly, I would say within the first week of taking it. Step number 3, to increase testosterone levels, what I decided I wanted to do was really focus and double down on protein intake. Making sure that I'm eating clean, making sure that I'm eating enough protein so I have the building blocks in my body to build hormones. Amino acid structure to build muscle, to build hormones, to build neurotransmitters, to do all the stuff that I need to do to actually function. Too many dudes out there are not eating enough protein. And I've done it before too. You know, you get busy in the morning. Maybe you skimp on breakfast or you have like a little snack at breakfast, you push forward, you forget lunch, and then you end up eating all your calories during 1 or 2 meals during the day, at dinner or wherever it is. Now, this is a recipe for disaster. And this is how I got myself into trouble to begin with in the hospital, right? I would wake up at 4 in the morning to go into the hospital, have a cup of coffee, do that deal, maybe go to the cafeteria at some point, fall asleep on the couch in there with my son, maybe at some point get a snack from the cafeteria. Next thing you know, it's afternoon, you're hungry, you eat something you shouldn't, and then we were going out for dinner. It was like, or cooking dinner at home, something easy. You do this for a week or two, it will make a difference for the negative. So back to the protein, right? How much protein is right for you? That's going to differ from person to person. Sometimes it says 1 gram of protein per ideal body weight. I think that's a little bit too much, especially if you're really heavy, like over 6 foot. That could be way too much for your kidneys. But for me, I knew that I needed to get at least 120 grams of protein per day to be hitting my relative demands. How do I do this? I'm eating steak. I eat steak or ground beef at least once a day, typically. Fish, chicken, sardines, tuna. These are things that I'm eating. I try not to eat tuna more than once a week because of the mercury content, but I am pounding that protein. I do a shake. I like doing hydrolyzed beef protein to get the protein in, and I blend that puppy up with either some almond milk or coconut milk, organic with none of those seed oil additives. So combine all that stuff in. I'm eating a low vegetable diet. Now, I'm not full carnivore, but I eat low vegetable diet during this time because I really want to maximize my testosterone production. So what does a sample plan of this even look like? I wake up in the morning. I have my cup of coffee. I work out for a half an hour. I punch my punching bag. Boom, 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 boom. I work out, hit my legs or hit my chest or hit my shoulders, whatever it's going to be that day. I come back out. I go for the protein shake. Hydrolyzed beef protein, 2 scoops. That's 40 grams of protein. Sometimes I'll add a little collagen in there. Then I'm off to work. I usually have a tin of sardines around 11. And then for lunch, I try to bring whatever I brought for dinner. So then I head home at the end of the day, and we typically cook a larger dinner so I can bring leftovers the next day. Typically a steak, chicken, fish, but usually steak or ground beef. And we'll do some kind of a light carb, like a long grain brown rice, various sauteed vegetables, seasoned with cumin, salt, pepper. We like to use liquid aminos and vinegar and raw extra virgin olive oil, drizzle lemon or lime. These are the types of things that we like to do. And when do I take my supplements? I typically take them in the morning. I put the bull testicle down. I take my adrenal hormone, and away I go. I take the adrenal hormone again. That's why I have a bottle here at my office in the afternoon after lunch. And that way, again, I'm off to the races and ready to roll. This has actually allowed me to gain 6 pounds of muscle, feel quite a bit more energy, quite a bit more stamina, quite a bit more drive, and I know that my testosterone levels are coming up. Now, I haven't actually checked my testosterone levels recently, and I plan on doing so and keeping you guys posted on what's going on, and so I can share my results, and also so I can share what I plan to do next. Any other further recommendations that I'd have for myself that I could be sharing with you guys that I know will be helpful. So if you guys like this information, if you found it valuable, go ahead and click the like button, subscribe, make sure to hit the notification bell because it'll let you know when my videos post. And if you find it valuable, then you'll know exactly when I'm posting these puppies. And shoot a comment down in the comment section because that helps the algorithm, and it also, more importantly, it lets me know to post more content just like this to help you guys out. So again, I'm Dr. James Stirrett. I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care.